at the edge. Gonna try it, he's got it, record time! Donnell Pumphrey smashes the record. On the return, is Rashad Penny, and Penny finds a seam. Penny to the outside. Penny will go the distance.
First and goal. Fake to Penny. Open man. Wells. He leads. He gets the ball. And they say touchdown San Diego State.
Dingwell back to pass. He lofts it up there to the corner. Touchdown Adam Roberts. Scared money don't make no money. Rocky Long and the Aztecs will walk away with a big win in OT.
Welcome back, Aztec Nation, to the newest episode of the Sons of Montezuma podcast. It's your host, Mateo. You can find me at Mateo San Diego. Of course,
I'm an
us
Aztec warrior.
on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff, Sons of Montezuma, and of course, sonsofmontezuma.com. What's going on? I'm joined with, well, my co-host. I don't know, man. Are you protecting the borders from sea to shining sea? It doesn't seem like so much lately, man. It doesn't seem like so much. What's going on? K5 James, welcome.
What's up? Good to be here, man. Good to be back doing this again.
I don't give you enough grief for being out there on the water, man. Being out there on the waterways.
Oh man, it's been terrible the last couple weeks. It's all overcast and gloomy and drizzling and stuff. So it hasn't been the everything the recruiting pitch lived up to. Like last summer, it was beautiful most of the summer. So I'm waiting for that summertime to pop.
Waiting for it. We're under 80 days now for the start of Aztecs football. And I know in our last episode, we're kind of previewing the season, the schedule, looking at all those things, and the team they're in full conditioning mode right now. So we're excited to have our next guest to the show. Our first time getting to talk with him. And before we get to that, man, I don't know if you caught that the Holiday Bowl is coming back to San Diego, back to Mission Valley. Well, it never left San Diego. It felt like it did, though. But after a couple years downtown, it's coming back to Snapdragon Stadium. We were kind of talking about it a little earlier in the day, just messaging back and forth. And I think it just underscores how important Snapdragon Stadium was in being developed and of course, San Diego State owning that, man. What are your thoughts on the Holiday Bowl coming back?
I mean, it's about time. I mean, the only thing the Petco was good for the holiday for was the after party and the pre-party because you're downtown. But other than that, like the sight lines were terrible. Getting in and out of the stadium, like getting to the stadium is terrible. It's like a Padres game. So yeah, this is going to be a much better situation for the Holiday Bowl, for the fans at the Holiday Bowl. Plus, Snapdragon's such an awesome venue, man. Can you imagine a packed Snapdragon with all the vendors and stuff rocking? It's gonna be. I'll actually go to the Holiday Bowl again.
Well, maybe one day the Aztecs will be invited to the Holiday Bowl. They got to clear that up, man. Got to make way for the home team to be able to play in that bowl game. But like we said, we can't wait till Snapdragon is filled back again with Aztecs fans. We want to bring in our featured guest. He is the first member of the Sons of Montezuma NIL team for this 2024 season. We are very, very excited to have this young Aztec to the NIL team. We're going to bring in right now linebacker Cody Moon. There it is. Got to put you on the main frame there. Got to put you on the main frame. What's going on, Cody? Welcome to the show. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys. How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Of course.
Well, welcome, man. Welcome. How are you feeling in conditioning time right now, man? I know they got to be working you guys out, trying to transition to this new coaching staff, this new philosophy, all that good stuff. How are you feeling at this point, man?
I'm feeling great. A lot better than I have in the past years. I've been able to put some weight on. I've been getting stronger. It's been a grind, but it's always a grind. The off season's always the hardest part of the time, or part of the year. So that way you can have your fun in the fall when you're playing the games and all that. You put the work in now, so you can have the fun later.
Absolutely. What are you weighing in at now, man? Roughly.
I'm around 220.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I was playing the last couple seasons. Last year I played about 205. The year before that I played about 195. And so 220 is a good spot. I'm trying to get a little higher because I usually tend to lose a couple during season. We're not lifting as heavy. You're just a little bit more busy, so I tend to lose a couple pounds during season. So I'm trying to get up a little higher so that way I can stay above 220 as I play through all 12, hopefully 14 games.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
How
sir.
do you feel moving around with the extra weight? Is it super noticeable or is it pretty comfortable right now?
It's pretty comfortable. I thought once I see the day that I could get up to 220, I was gonna struggle in the runs and struggle running the gassers and the 100-yard striders and all that. But it actually almost feels easier for me. The weight isn't the thing. It's I have more power now that I'm thinking is why it makes it easier.
Awesome, man. It's good to hear. All that work paying off.
Yeah, finally.
Now you say finally, man. This is officially your final season of play, right? In the D1 level, right?
Yeah. This is my last year of eligibility.
How does that feel like looking back? It seemed like it went by pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It felt like just last year I was playing my season based out of Las Vegas, Nevada during COVID and all that was going on. It feels like it was just the other day.
I mean, man, we could get into that. That's coming over from New Mexico, but that's right. You guys did have to play in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah. We were in a hotel in Henderson, Nevada, and we lived out of the hotel and then got bused to Sam Boyd Stadium every day, and they finally let us have some home games there. I guess home games you would say, but um, we played out of Sam Boyd and then got bused to and from Sam Boyd to the hotel every day for practice and for COVID testing, and it was just a hassle.
Yeah, I'm always curious, man, to talk with players who like yourself that have gone through this just crazy experience of playing D1 sports and through COVID, and then obviously, you transferring over, having that experience to go with, all those trials and under COVID, and there's a lot we could get into, man. I mean, going out there in New Mexico, you're a New Mexico native, right?
Yeah. It's born and raised, played there a couple years.
And of course, played under some of our favorite coaches out there, Mr. Rocky Long, of course, and Coach Gonzalez, right?
Yeah. Coach G was the head coach, and then Coach Long was our DC and linebackers coach. So I was in the room with that guy every day. He's probably one of the best coaches I've played for. He's just so smart when it comes to the game of football.
Yeah, man. One of the cool things I got to run into some of your family. Is there a San Diego connection, right? Somewhere along the lines that were explaining to me.
Yeah. So my uncle, he lives out here. He moved out here a while back. My grandma's brother, him and his daughters all live out here. And so when I came out here, he was super stoked. He's had San Diego State season tickets for years. And when I started playing for the Lobos, he was following the Lobos like crazy. He still kind of follows them a little bit just because that's who I played for in the past. But yeah, he's held basketball and football season tickets for, shoot, I don't know how many years.
Yeah. So how's your adjustment to San Diego? I know you've been here for over a year now, but how are you adjusting to the San Diego lifestyle versus Albuquerque?
It was kind of different at first. This was my first time ever living out of state, except for that couple months that I was in Vegas in a hotel, but you can't really consider that living. But it's been good. The weather's nice. It's not as humid here as it is other places that I've been, but the humidity is something I for sure had to acclimate to. Going from altitude to humidity was a little different. But it's nice. It's a nice city. There's stuff to do if you got the money to do it and all that. Yeah, it's a cool place to live for sure.
Yeah, you didn't hear it, but I was just complaining on Matt and I talking about the weather. I'm complaining about this overcast weather.
Oh yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, like it's really not that bad.
Yeah. It is a little weird. I remember when I first moved here, it seemed like it was raining like every day, and it almost seems like it's starting to get back into that type of weather that it was last year when I got here.
Yeah, that was you moved at like a freak time, man. That was like the most rain we had in decades. It seems like. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think the sun is coming, so just hold
Yeah,
out for a little bit.
yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about Coach Rocky, man. I mean, he's such a iconic figure, right? Especially for Lobos and us Aztecs fans. Your experiences with him. Is there a particular story that kind of illustrates who Coach Rocky is, his personality, and that you had to kind of deal with?
There's a couple stories that kind of come to mind. One of them was on the field. Coach Long, I mean, he's an old guy. He's got an old mentality when it comes to football. He's just got that gritty mentality when it comes to football. And one day we were out on the field, and the fight broke out on the field, and he doesn't say nothing about the fight. He just starts walking past where the fight was going so we could continue to run plays farther down the field. So he wasn't even worried about the fight. He's like, you guys are just wasting my time right now. Like, what are you guys doing? And then when we were in the meeting room one time, he said something to me, and I said something back to him along the lines of like saying he was old or something like that. And he goes, you know what, Cody? I want to go in a room with just me and you, and I'll show you how old I am. He goes, I think I got one fight in me. I got one good fight left in me, and I don't know if I want to waste it on you, but I'm pretty close.
Yeah, that's the way he is, man. He's just that old school mentality, like you were saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Vintage Rocky. We have kind of like a running joke back during his time as a head coach. You know, people. I don't want to say it was on the level of like the Chuck Norris jokes. You know what I mean? Where like Chuck Norris just does everything, but it was kind of along those lines. Like how.
Yeah, we'd go into the weight room, and there's freshmen in there who are benching 225 or whatever, struggling with it, and he's like over there talking crap to them, and they're like, who's this old man talking crap to me for not benching enough? And then he'd get under the bar and he'd throw 225 up 6 times, 10 times, whatever, like it's nothing, while he's in his 70s, and they're like, oh my gosh. Look at this guy.
Awesome. That's good stuff, man. Gotta celebrate that guy, I mean, geez.
Yeah, he's got a lot of support from us. We're always big fans of him. So you're preaching to the choir, talking about the love for that dude, man.
Yeah.
Now I know he left right before you made your transfer to San Diego State, right? I've kind of heard you speak on that before, and coming to San Diego State. I mean, how tough was that decision? I know it's been a year since your transfer and leaving home and all that, but I mean, how difficult was that making that transition and coming to San Diego State?
Man, it was a hard decision. It was probably one of the hardest I've ever made it, because I was basically putting my football career on the line. I don't get the offer I want. I get a smaller offer. You never know what's going to happen when you hit the transfer portal. And so I had been thinking about it. I was thinking about wanting a program that could develop me a little bit more. Like I loved UNM. I loved playing for my hometown. I wish nothing more than I could have made that program like a good program, gone to bowl games and all that, and just build it up from how low it's been. But I felt like my time was kind of running, and I had bigger goals as far as my life than trying to build that career. I wanted to push my future with football, and I saw Coach Long left, and he was one of the coaches that was keeping me there. I knew he could teach me a lot of things, and within the couple years I played for him, he taught me more about football than I learned since I'd been playing since I was 6. So like he was such a good guy to play for. And so when he left, it kind of helped me make my decision to leave. And it was a hard decision, and San Diego State was to me, it was kind of crazy that I got this offer, because all the coaches I played for, the defense I was playing within, and coming to a school that at the time that I came here had the same defense that I was playing in. It was ran by somebody else, but it was 3-3-5, same thing I was playing for with Coach Long. And it was just kind of crazy to get that offer. And then I just thought it was home for me. I didn't have crazy offers getting out of the portal. I was only in the portal for a couple of weeks, so I didn't really give myself the time to get those offers. But San Diego State was for sure my number one as soon as I got that offer.
I know it's you've only been through spring, but how's the transition to the 4.25? I know they're fairly similar, but what's your take on the transition so far?
I'm loving it. The 3.35, it was great to play for Coach Long, and it was a little complicated for me last year because I just didn't really understand how we want. Our coach last year, it almost seemed like he was trying to combine a 4.25 and a 3.35, and I was just a little bit lost. But the 4.25, it was like it's simple. You have a gap and you play that gap, and your D linemen are lined up in the gap that they're going to play in mostly all the time. And so if they're in a gap, then you have the gap they're not in. And it's just very simple. And there's 5 DBs just like in the 3.35, so you can almost relate the pass coverages the same a little bit. It's just kind of the gap scheme that was still the hard part for me to understand, because in the 3.35 you're not really a gap scheme defense. You're basically blitzing every play and twisting your D linemen and twisting as you blitz, and we do a little bit of all that here. That's like more of our third down packages and stuff like that. But we're kind of just play nose to nose, toes to toes, and play football, and that's what I like.
A little more clarity, so you can go out there and attack and just play free. That sounds awesome, man.
Yeah. That's something else Coach Long taught me is the more you know and the better you know it, the faster you're going to play, and the simpler the plan is, the faster you can learn it and the faster you can play. And so you're not spending all this time, oh, he made this call, and so you're standing there for 20 seconds trying to figure out what that call is or what your assignment is on that call, instead of, okay, here's the call, this is what I'm doing. And so then you can start looking at other things. Okay, the running back's lined up here. Oh, the guard's foot's like this. Oh, they have these receivers on this side. And you just start thinking about other things that can improve your game. It's way bigger than just your assignment.
Awesome.
I don't want to pry too much into today's defense and the staff and all that stuff. I don't think I'll put you through all that. I don't want to put you through all that.
Yeah, I'm loving these guys though. These staff they're doing good things for the program. I'm loving it.
Yeah, just from the outside looking in, it seems like there's a lot more energy coming from the coaching staff. And I don't know if you guys feel that as well, but we definitely see it on the outside.
Yeah. I mean, we feel it like crazy. Like there's music blasting at practice. There's music playing when we first get into the team meeting room. Every coach has got energy. Everybody's hyping you up. There's energy in the weight room. It's just like a positive place to be.
Yeah, and kind of sticking to that weight room stuff. How has it been with the transition to coach? It's Sobel, right?
Sobel. Yeah, he's been doing good things. We do a lot more like I don't even know how you would say it. With Coach Hall, he's a great coach, and he's definitely going to make you a tough player. But with Coach Sobel, he's doing a little bit more of the science end of it. He's kind of incorporating the toughness that Coach Long had or Coach Hall had, and the science that is needed within football today. Like football back then, there was no science. It was just go out there, work hard, and be tough, and don't get beaten. Now there's a science behind how to get bigger. There's a science behind how hip flexibility and all that. And he's incorporating all that into our strength and conditioning program, which is very helpful.
Awesome.
Can you give us like one specific example, maybe a workout or routines, anything along those lines?
I don't even know what you would call the drills. You just have to kind of see them when you're doing them, but it's not just running back and forth on the football field in a certain time. We're going around drills, we're working our footwork, we're doing that stuff. And then when we lift in the weight room, they set things up where we can like, there's like chains that hang from the top of the racks, and then there's like a belt you can put on, and you hang upside down and it loosens up your hips. And like, they just give different options like that to use like after the workouts, before workouts. Coach Sobel sometimes has his wife come in because she's a yoga instructor, I think. And so he'll have his wife come in and she'll do yoga with us and just do different stretches with us to keep us flexible and limber. And Coach Schmidt, our defensive coordinator, he said something to me that kind of stuck with me. And it was, as a football player, you want your upper body to be as strong and as thick as possible, but you want your lower body to be as flexible and limber as possible. And because your lower body is getting you everywhere, and that's how you play football and make the tackles, but you need your upper body because that's what takes the brute of the force every time you make a tackle or take on a block or that type of deal. So that was something that kind of stuck with me, that kind of been trying to run with now and get my lower body flexible and my upper body really, really strong.
Plus, it doesn't hurt when you're walking around the beach, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh man, tell me about it. I'm in my 40s now, bro. It's no joke. That hip mobility. Good
Yeah.
lord.
Every season I play, I get into the off season and I'm like, man, I feel a little worse than I did last off season, and I'm only 22. This is adding up quick.
Oh yeah.
So, quick question. I don't want to deviate too much, but you talk about, um, the new staff, some of the new things that they're bringing in to implement, which all sounds awesome. Give me some insight to the head man in charge. What are some thoughts about Sean Lewis? Of course, he's bringing the Aztecs fast offense, implementing that very offensive heavy in that regards. But just as an overall picture to the team, what are some things that stand out to you with Coach Lewis coming in as opposed to last season?
I mean, he's got crazy energy. Every time he's around, the energy's up there. He's I mean, he's like bigger than me. I've never played for a head coach that's taller than me, so it's kind of different to be looking up to my head coach. But he's just got like a crazy amount of intelligence about life and how to be successful in life. And that's, to me, that's something that's very important. Like we're here to get a degree. We're here to play football, and at the end of the day, we're trying to become the best man we can. And Coach Lewis is putting us on the right path to that. And I had a meeting with Coach Lewis, and he gave me a book of his own that to read, because he sees that when I get frustrated or something, I kind of get really mad, and I get upset about things when I'm mad, or when I do something wrong about myself, I get in my head and I'm upset at myself, So he saw those things, and he gave me this book, and the book, I mean, I'm not a reader. I don't like to read, but he gave me this book, and I started reading it, and it's just like giving you so many different perspectives on so many different things, on how the world will always be moving so fast, and you have to learn how to slow it down for you so you can be successful. Everything's going to be moving crazy fast around you all the time, and you got to learn how to deal with the problems and not let the problem get too big, basically. And so just Coach Lewis's intelligence on life, and trying to create us to be great men, while also trying to build this program back to how it used to be a few years ago. In my opinion, he's doing a great job so far.
Awesome, man. It's great to hear.
That's fresh, man. That's fresh. Love hearing that. And it never ends, man. Like, I'll tell you that from my bracket, my age bracket, man, it never ends. Whether it's whatever it is you're trying to do in life, you really got to attack it and make solid decisions, no matter how you're feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me ask you this: in your life, man, is there who's that figure that you looked up to that kind of provided some of that to you in your days coming up as a young football player, through the ranks, through every next level you stepped up to? Who was that central figure that kind of kept you motivated, kept you disciplined? Did you have that voice?
Yeah, it's got to be my mom. She was not an athlete by any means. She doesn't really understand how things work within athleticism and within a sports program and stuff like that, but she does understand how to be successful and how to be a leader and all that about life. And so ever since I was a little kid, she was always putting me in the position to be successful. The coach, he needs somebody. She's going to make sure I know that I'm standing there with my helmet strapped up and I'm the first guy ready to go in right next to the coach. And she's going to always talk to me about how to be a better leader. She's going to ask me how many meals I ate today, because she knows I got to put on weight. She's going to ask me if we're not having mandatory workouts. She's going to ask me if I went to the gym. She's going to ask me if I hit the field. She's always going to push me. And she's got a million things going on in her life, and she's working all these jobs and doing all these things, and she's still asking me. And I'm almost 1,000 miles away, and she still finds time to pick up the phone and call me and all that. So I'm doing this all for her, and for myself, of course, but all that she's done for me since I was a kid, I got to pay it back somehow.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you were to look back at maybe Cody Moon coming out of high school, what could you tell that 18-year-old Cody Moon, what's something that you could tell that younger version of yourself?
I would probably say that like just leave all the distractions and leave all the second guessing. Just get rid of it. Like leave it in the past because I would second guess myself. I would doubt myself. I wasn't even going to play college football. I didn't have no offers. I was going to go to the Marine Corps. I didn't see this vision at all. And it was my mom there telling me, "Hey, just try college football. Just try it." And I was like, "Okay, if I could afford it for a year, I'll do it for a year, and I can't afford it after that. So I don't get on a Scully after a year, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna just start my life like I was after." And so all them second guesses and all that doubting yourself, leave that in the past. And then once you do start doing all that, like leave all the distractions in the past too, and put all those to the side. I wish I would have found what I'm doing now to gain weight. I wish I would have found that back when I was in high school or back when I was fresh out of high school, but I didn't know any better. I was just doing what I thought, but I would be almost selfish. Oh, I don't want to eat. Oh, I'd rather do this. Oh, I'd rather do that instead of just sit down and pick up a fork and eat until you can't anymore, and spend your time doing that instead of wanting to spend your time hanging out with the homies and doing this and that. And so, if I could have done that, that's what I would have rather done instead of all the fun I had. You could still have fun, but you could eat and have fun too. You could work out and have fun too.
Ladies, blink if you have not purchased a Father's Day gift yet. Yeah, we thought so. So today's episode is brought to you by Manscaped, the leaders in below the waist grooming. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is Manscaped's fifth generation trimmer, so they know what they're doing and they have perfected it. I have one. It's small, it's sleek, it's smooth. You can trust it. Maybe your pops likes his bush he's had since the 70s. As K5 James showed us last week, he's a very hairy dude, and this will get the job done. And it comes in this nice little travel case that you can take wherever your father goes. And hey, if you may not have a father, you might have a daddy around, so they will appreciate this. Any man will appreciate this gift. And if you go to manscaped.com right now, you can get 20% off plus free shipping with code SONS20. That's SONS20, the promo code. Don't let the man in your life continue to live in the 70s. Bring him up to date at manscaped.com.
Yeah, man. Kind of going back to when you came over, I remember it kind of went under the radar a little bit in San Diego. But I remember watching when San Diego State played New Mexico, or I happened to catch a New Mexico game. Like there was one guy making a bunch of tackles that nobody really talked about, and it was you. And then when I found out you were coming over, we talked about it on this podcast, man. We were stoked. We were excited to see you play in the defense last year. But I think we're really excited this year because you have a year under your belt. I know transitioning to a different program, even though the defense was similar, it's still a big adjustment for, you're a college kid, man. You got a lot of stuff going on, especially moving so far away. So again, being here for a year, you're kind of settled. It's not like you're moving. You're kind of used to your routine. Do you feel like more comfortable, like ready to attack this season this year?
Yeah, I feel 10 times better. Like you said, it's hard as a college student. You got to acclimate. You got a bunch of different stuff going on. And that's exactly what I was going through. I was trying to figure out how to live here. I was trying to figure out how to do all these different things on my own, acclimate to the meal plans they have here, and getting my own groceries, and just everything was different. And now I've been here for a while. I know how things roll, and obviously it's different with new coaches. It's not the same, but it's not that much different. And I've been able to get into like a daily routine, I think, which is what's helped me the most. As I wake up and I start my morning the same every day, and I think that's what's benefited me the most and made everything a lot easier since I've started the training for this second season I have out here. But I'm more than excited for this last year, and I try to keep the pressure off my back. I get excited, but then I also get nervous because I'm like, man, it's my last year. I got to do enough so I could get to the league, and that's kind of where I was in the beginning of spring. Is I'm worried, I'm nervous. I'm not going to be good enough. I'm not going to make the plays I need to make, and that's what kind of just put me down. And if I just sit here and think, man, I'm living the dream that I thought of when I was 6 years old. Like, just it's your last year. If you don't end up going to the NFL and you focused your whole last year playing college football and just trying to make the NFL, you're gonna look back and be like, man, I wish I would have had some fun instead of being so cooped up about trying to go to the NFL. And if you're having your fun, I think that's when you're gonna play the best, because we play this game because it's fun. We don't play this game because we have to. We get to play this game.
Sometimes the toughest thing is like to focus on the journey, the enjoying the moment, living in the moment, or always thinking of the payoff or what's going to be the result. And it's like, well, that'll take care of itself, Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, James, what were you going to say, man?
No, I was just saying he's getting me excited for the season, man, without talking about having fun. And I can't wait, man. These are the roughest parts of the summer, man, between now and when the season starts. All right, actually, till you guys show up for fall camp, it'll start to get a little more fun. But
yeah, it's for sure more fun because we're playing football, but sure a lot more busier.
Yeah. It's a lot more fun for us on the outside. I'll say that. I'll correct it. We're not having to be out on the field all the time like you guys. So
yeah.
How do you say? I lost my train of thought. I agree with James, man. It just makes it's gonna make that opening game a lot more fun for us fans, I think, to hear your story, hear your perspective, and like, okay, this is where Cody's coming from. This is the mentality coming into this season,
Yeah, I can't wait. I hope I'm doing everything right. I hope I've put my mind in the right spot in this last year, just to prove those little boy goals I had of getting to the playing on Sundays.
Who was the team coming up as a little boy watching football, man? Who's the team?
I used to watch the Steelers a lot because I liked Mike Wallace. I played receiver when I was younger, so I liked Mike Wallace a lot when he played for the Steelers. But then he left, and my dad was a Broncos fan, and so I call myself a Broncos fan. But in reality, I don't really cheer for a certain team. I just like football. I like to watch it. With all honesty, I guess the team I like watching the most right now is the Niners. I would hate to call myself a Niners fan, but man, they're fun to watch. I love their defense and all that. But yeah, I just like to watch good football is all.
Exactly. That's how we as San Diegans are pretty much now too.
Yeah, man, the Chargers had to leave us over here.
Yeah.
It's all good. We follow real San Diego football, man. Real San Diego football.
Yeah.
Aztecs. Well, Cody, by the time this drops, all the fans here, they're going to be able to see your merch that we have, a really cool NIL partnership that we have with you for your merch, T-shirts, posters. We're going to have posters for you out there. So hopefully I'll be flashing up on the screen so people can take a look at, some of the items and all that good stuff. What can you say about our NIL agreement with you, man, and seeing some of the merch? I know I gave you a sneak preview on some of the items, man. What do you got to say about those?
And they were pretty dope. I was anxious to get to see them. I was wanting to get this rolling just because I want to see it. I want it to be out there, and I damn near want to wear it myself. And so when you sent me those graphics and all that, I was like, man, those are pretty cool. And I was excited to get on this podcast, get to talk with you guys, because my family, I got to talk to you, but I myself hadn't got to talk to you guys. So I was just eager for this whole process to get started, But I'm more than grateful for you guys for bringing me on and doing all this for me. It's been amazing. I appreciate you guys.
Oh man, no, thank you, dude. We appreciate you trusting in us to kind of help you out, man. Hopefully these are a hot seller. I know I'm going to buy one for sure. So
yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun meeting with them. I think it was for the spring showcase, right? And we have our big van. We just parked it right in the front of the stadium. Like, I don't even think anybody was really allowed to park there, but we did. So, and pulled out the canopy. We had our setup, music going, all that good stuff. And I love that they just came right up, walked past, and we were like, hey, just started talking, went over there and grabbed them and started having a conversation. Like they weren't scared to come talk and mix it up, have a good time.
Yeah, my mom will be the first one to go and talk to you and say, "Oh, my son's 58." She'll be the first one to tell you that.
Absolutely, man. Well, listen, we're very excited to have you on the team. Appreciate your time and of course, the friendliness from the family, all that good stuff. We're gonna be pulling for you, number 58 out there on the field. Cody, thank you for joining, man. We'll have to do this again, man. I'll reach out to you and keep connected.
Sounds good. Thank you guys again for the opportunity and putting me on this, and I can't wait to see that merch and get it on sale for all these fans to get. Thank you guys.
All right, thanks, Cody.
Yep,
All
we'll
right,
see
man.
you.
Go work hard.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
All right, man.
See you, bro.
Oh man, he's a good kid, dude.
All right, Cody Moon. Yeah, dude. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. It's good to hear his perspective. Having been out there in Albuquerque, you know, our crew, we went out there for the basketball game, and it's kind of a tricky area. Like, you got the pit, right? And it's like a whole sports complex there on this 4 corners. You got the pit on one corner. Then diagonally across the street, you got the Isotopes where the baseball minor league team plays. And then on the other corner, they share the same parking lot with the pit, is the football stadium. And it's kind of cool, like if they maybe stepped up on the football stadium, but it's kind of a cool complex. Like if they maybe put a little thought and resources into it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But seeing him come from Albuquerque and New Mexico, seeing him come from out there, it's pretty cool.
He's definitely got a cool story, man. He walked on at New Mexico, earned a scholarship, and turned out to be like probably their best player when they were really bad. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna buy one of those shirts, bro. I'll sport one of those bad boys.
The Moon Man gear. That's what they're saying. When we gonna get some Moon Man merch? Gotta get some Moon Man merch. Nah,
yeah, I can't wait to see it. You haven't even shown it to me yet, dude.
I know. I'm keeping things under wraps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But definitely, guys, go out there and support Mr. Moon, Cody Moon, number 58. It's his final season here wearing the red and black, and he really wanted to be here. Transferred in, he's put in the work, he's getting better, and you heard it yourself. Just the changes and what this coaching staff means to him, and of course, his previous coaches as well, which we all know and appreciate. So, really excited to get this thing going. James, you gonna join me with a couple other interviews we got going, because the NIL team's only gonna grow from here.
Oh yeah, I'll be here, man. Since RIP to Dirty Dan, but
yo.
I'll pick up the slack since you should play that freaking Bone Thugs and Harmony. I see you at the crossroads.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Tough job. Somebody's got to do it, man. Tough job.
Yeah. I'll jump in and help you out, man. Although we'll have to get them done by August, because I'm gonna be gone pretty much most of August for training. So
what? More training? What are they gonna train you to do now?
I got to go to that one training I failed last year or earlier.
Ooh.
Yeah, last year.
I'm keeping this on the pod. I'm keeping this on the pod, bro. Hey, this is a good life lesson, bro. You gotta get back up. Like Cody says, you get upset, you don't do something wrong, you gotta get back up, try it again.
Yeah. So I'm going back beginning of August, and I'll be gone for like 3 weeks.
Ooh.
So
we want progress reports on this, man. That's fresh.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, you got a couple months to get all these interviews in, man.
Yeah.
If you need to do a pod like while I'm gone, we could probably do it like on the weekend or something like that. If you want to like record one.
All right,
I'll be off on the weekends, because I know that's going to be like right around fall camp and all that. That there might be a lot to talk about. So.
Oh yeah. It's just the excitement is only going to grow, man. I mean, we're under 80 days now, but it's just going to keep getting more and more, lighting the fire just a little bit more. That Aztec fire. I can't wait.
Yeah. I'm stoked this year we're going to have college football 25. That's what I used to use to kind of help me carry through the dog days of summer until football started. And now it's back. So I'm like, yeah.
Oh, we'll have it out at the tailgates, man. We're going to have it there. Maybe have some tournaments, some challenges. We'll see.
Absolutely.
All right, James, thank you for joining, man. All you Aztec fans out there, make sure you're checking out Cody Moon merch, sonsofmontezuma.com. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Hit that like and subscribe button. Do it right now. Make the algorithm go crazy. See you guys next time. Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs.